In a previous video on my channel I have showed how to convert copper sulphate into a crude form of sulphuric acid. However, this acid still needs to be purified, and I'm going to do this by distillation. So in this flask here I have an amount of the impure sulphuric acid prepared by the process I have previously documented. This is then going to be distilled across and collected in a small glass vial, which I'll place under the end, and I'll probably just stack it on top of something just to get it a little closer to the end. So it's a very simple process. You just light the burner here. That will of course heat it, it'll go over there and it'll condense in that and drip out the end into that. I'm going to keep checking what's coming out the end with universal indicator paper to determine when water stops coming across and the acid starts coming across. Because of course the first thing it will produce is distilled water, as water boils at 100 degrees as opposed to the 300 sulphuric acid does at. I will also be cycling water through the condenser, but I don't have a pump, so that's going to be done manually through the arduous task of filling up a cup down here and pouring it into a funnel I have located up here, which will work as a rudimentary setup until I can find a better way. So it's all bubbling nicely and it's condensing up around here at the moment. It's running down through the condenser and dripping out into my collector here. Now if I get some indicator paper and test this, you'll see that it's currently not making any difference, so this is just water. So I'm just going to keep dumping that out. The amount of acid in it, if it's not setting off indicator paper, is really not worth recovering at all. So I'm just going to keep emptying this out and replacing it until of course one of my tests goes red, and that means I'm getting acid across. Okay, so it's later now and the boil rate has slowed right down and a white mist is being produced. And over on this side the distillate is now changing the indicator paper red. So what I'm collecting now is sulphuric acid, but the concentration is still increasing. Okay, so it's very late now and the white mist is very prevalent, and as you can see the rate of distillation is slowed right down, so I'm just getting the last bits out, and I'm going to keep heating this even after it stops boiling, because the heating up will drive more stuff from this through into the condenser where it can then be put into a liquid form. I'm just leaving my stuff to cool down so that the last bits all come out. But to prove that I have made sulphuric acid, I have here just going to take a bit into the pipette, and I have here a test tube. Inside this test tube, you should be able to see it, is some black copper oxide. If I add a drop to here, it should convert back into copper sulphate that is blue. Put all the drops in, shake it around. So now after heating it gently and allowing it to settle, you can see that it is the clear blue colour of copper sulphate, which I think proves enough that this is sulphuric acid. It's a lot purer than the version I showed you to make previously, and would therefore be useful if you're trying to make sulfates and trying to make a specific compound that requires the group. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a quick one, not that complicated process this time, and I hope I'll be using this sulphuric acid in a potassium carbonate sulphuric acid rocket in sometime in the near future.